Hey, what's up, guys? Zero One, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about some of the comic book films that have come out this year. The reason why I was waiting up to this point in time to review all these comic book films is because I don't want to be, working on some different projects and then wait until the film comes out and then review it. Let me just wait until all the comic book films come out and review them and get them out of the way. So the first one I'm going to be reviewing is X-Men Apocalypse. Bryan Singer's fifth iteration of the X-Men films. I know in the first class he helped out as a producer or writer, but in this time he again takes, the director's chair and brings us the X-Men. Now before I start, I have a bias about the X-Men films. I really feel like the X-Men films haven't been the best or the X-Men that I grew up, watching or reading about. I really feel like this is just, another comic book film just that the studio is just trying to bring out so they can get more money from the rest of the audience. So that's my bias. Now let's get into the film. X-Men Apocalypse deals with the very first mutant that has existed, since the dawn of time. And this character who is Apocalypse, who's played by Oscar Isaac, he is betrayed by his own people and left there to rot in his pyramid for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And then 1983 comes around and somebody wakes him up and he comes out of this, hibernation, and he sees the world as the way that he didn't want it to be. For him, it's the strong has to rule and the weak has to serve the strong. And when he comes out and he sees that the weak is ruling and the strong is in fear of the weak or run away from the weak or is serving the weak, he's like, no, that's not my vision of the world. Now we also see Charles Xavier now finally, accomplishing what he wanted to do all these years. He sees his school growing. He sees more and more mutants are coming to his school and really want to help out with the vision that he has to bridge the gap between the humans and the mutants, and that they become one and the same. Be working together and have that tolerant relationship, that they respect one another. And that was pretty cool. I think one of the lines that Charles Xavier had in the film, spoiler alert, is that he wanted humans to come to his school and be a part of the school so they can understand and see what the mutants are all about. And that's pretty cool. This film has some good and some bad. I just felt like the bad outweighed the good because James McAvoy and Michael Fassbinder have this really good chemistry going on as kind of like Charles and Xavier and Eric actually have this kind of like this brotherly love. They do care about each other, and they have this vision for the future of the mutants, but it's done very different. Magneto believes that the mutants, because out of his fear and out of his anxiety from the past, what has he seen that the humans have done to the people, like for example Hitler doing to the Jews. He's like, no, the mutants have to rule over the humans because we would never be accepted by them. And Charles Xavier is kind of like, no, we have to work to establish a relationship. We live in the same planet. We're basically the same. It's just we have certain gifts, and they don't. So let's just learn to work with one another and respect one another. And Magneto is like, no. So you have that tension between both of them, and because of the pain that Magneto's going, or with the pain that he has in his heart, he goes with Apocalypse. So that's one of the things that I just felt it's very repetitive about the X-Men films. It's always about Charles Xavier, Magneto, and Wolverine's in the middle, or something like that. And to me, the X-Men is not about that. It's more about the team and working together and having important roles within the team, and not just standing there. That's one of the things that I've seen in a lot of the X-Men films. I feel like a lot of the certain characters are just doing nothing. Jubilee and both the X-Men films from the past and this one, she really doesn't do much. She just is there. The same thing with Archangel. Archangel also comes out in X-Men 3, and he doesn't do much at all. Psylocke, the same thing. Psylocke, who is played by Olivia Munn, she only has, I think, a couple of words, and she really doesn't do much at all. She's just there. And I just felt like that was, the story was lacking in that department. Another thing that the story, I felt like it was lacking is just the special effects. I mean, you add special effects to enhance the story, not to take away from the story. And I felt like a lot of the special effects was taken away from the story. It had all these different epic shots, but some of them, either they ran out of time or they ran out of funding, and you don't know which one, but you see the quality lack. There's this one shot of this shipyard where they have these containers where they put it in ships, and they look so fake. They really look so fake, so plastic. So as we see, the X-Men have to face Apocalypse and his 4 horsemen to protect the Earth from becoming this wasteland or this chaotic place that Apocalypse wants. And the X-Men, with the help of Mystique and Beast, they reassemble, and they have Quicksilver. Which Quicksilver, he has some pretty cool scenes. He basically stole the show again from just like back in Days of Future Past. You see his amazing powers just at work in the screen, and it really blows your mind away. You're kind of like, wow, that's pretty cool. That really is, And he has his moment to shine, and he does shine. So that was pretty cool about Quicksilver, who's played by Peter Evans, Evan Peters, which he does a real good job in portraying that character. So we see the X-Men reassembled, and it's Beast, Mystique, Quicksilver, Cyclops, and Jean Grey, and Nightcrawler, going to war against Apocalypse and his 4 horsemen. Excuse me. And I mean, it has its pros and cons, just like any other film. But I felt like the cons outweigh the pros in this film. I felt like there was just so much that really did not make sense. Really did not, click. Certain characters, their motivation or who they are, they really don't explain. Like, for example, Stryker, who oversees the Weapon X program, and Wolverine, which is part of the Weapon X program, they really didn't have to be in this film at all. I mean, they really didn't have to be in this film to help the movie or to help the story play along. It was just kind of like forced in there. Now, that said, it doesn't mean that the people that came out in the film and worked in the film didn't work their hardest, that they're not talented. They are talented. Bryan is very talented. Nicholas Hoult, who plays Beast, is also very talented. Michael Fassbinder, who plays Magneto, is also a very talented actor. They're all very talented. Even Oscar Isaac, who plays Apocalypse, which I didn't really like the interpretation of Apocalypse in this film at all. He's also a great actor. It's just, you had a bunch of good elements, but just the way it was executed. I felt the way it was executed was just lacking, as usual with the rest of the X-Men films. There's just continuity errors. There was just parts where I just didn't care about. It felt like the film felt like you're going from one scene to the next scene to the next scene to the next scene just to really get to the next scene. And it really didn't feel like it was jiving with me. It really didn't feel like, all the gears and everything was in place and it was working together for this really great, amazing story, or this really great, amazing characters who have an amazing, backstory to show to the audience. And do I recommend it? Seen it? Do I recommend it to the family and that you guys see it? No, hold up on it. Wait until it comes out as a rental. There is one cuss word, and there's no nudity at all. There's no, that's basically it. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you also for my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys messaging me and also putting in your input. I really do like that because I'm getting some feedback. And you guys have an awesome day. And Jesus is King. Remember that. Later. Peace.